Yo, what's up, peeps? It's your boy King, and I want to bring you the 2K news roundup. Now, I was gonna upload when the final blog from Mike Wang came out over on their website, NBA2K.com blog. Now, a lot of news has came out since then, and that's what I was waiting for because I know we're around that time where just a lot of this news about the next gen console versions of NBA 2K is just leaking out, and as I suspected, we got new screenshots. We got a lot of new stuff to talk about here, so let's go ahead and get into it. So first order of business is the badges. Okay, so it looks like they made significant changes to the badges, as I expected they would. Man, they reworked them for the next gen because that's what they did in NBA 2K14 for next gen, and it was more badges and we reworked a little bit. But here it's looking like these things are really seeing a significant change, man, and they're also removing some. So you have Fearless Finisher, boosts contact layups and decreases fatigue. You got Heat Seeker, boosts takeover progress on inside shots. Highlight Film, boosts teammates takeover progress on flashy dunks. Hook Specialist, boosts hook shots ability. Revive Posterizer, contact dunks. Rise Up, boost ability to do standing dunks in traffic. Anti-freeze, harder to get cold basically and lose the takeover meter progress. Blinders, less affected by peripheral defenders when shooting jumpers. That one right there, I really like the sound of that. That was not in the last one. I really do like the sound of that one. Circus threes, improved ability to hit pull up and step back threes. Now for Park, this might be trash. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This might be absolutely garbage when it comes to Park. But if it's gonna be, it could be tuned for the regular 5v5 gameplay and my league and stuff. The way I play this game is I like to get rosters and I like to tune the players, because even with the screenshots that they have now, some of these players seem really overrated, and 2K doesn't know how to rate for shit anyway. So something like this could be pretty good for tuning in the grand scheme of things. So Fade Ace, boost all fadeaways, they had that before. Hot Shot, increase takeover meter faster when knocking down jumpers. Deep threes, Dame and Curry, range 3, but I mean, as always in there, it's just renamed. You have Rhythm Shooter, boost shot percentage out of size ups as well as one-step pull-ups. Now, I really like that. I really like that right there. There's a lot of players in the league who get their money by getting into a rhythm dribbling and then pulling up on you, and I like that. And Harden is definitely one of those players, and that's one of my favorite players in the league right now. So set shooter, ability to get shooting ability gets better the longer you set and wait for a pull-up, wait before pulling. Sniper, boost the ability to hit shots when using pro stick aim. Stop and pop 3 for JJ Redick who wants to pull up. For the JJ Redicks who wants to pull up for threes in transition. Bullet passer gives you the ability to throw laser dots like LeBron. And you also have Relay Passer, boost the shooter on pass to assist situations. You got Special Delivery, boost takeover progress for the passer and the receiver off a flashy pass assist. You got Ankle Braces. This is basically, I've seen this one before. This is basically clamps. Makes it tougher for the ball handler to break your ankles. This one actually might be a little bit more in detail. Just because you can't get your ankles broken doesn't mean you can't get beat off the dribble. So basically that's that. They're breaking it. What it looks like basically to me is they're breaking up the badges more. You have Clutch Defender, boost the defensive rating in clutch moments. I really like that one. Hot Stopper, boost takeover meter for good defensive plays like steals, blocks, and good shot contests. So all of this sounds really good, man. And of course, it's gonna be some broken ones, especially when it comes pertaining to online. These guys, they're gonna find a way to break something, so you can expect it to be a lot of tuning throughout the year, trying to get these badges right, trying to get and it'll be the same thing with jump shots and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and get into the next one. Oh, and they also removed some badges too. I'll leave that up on the screen. Basically, they removed the badges that they did not deem worthy or did not make sense or were redundant. I'll leave it up on the screen so you can read it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the next one. So takeover mode has seen some pretty impressive changes in my eyes. I really like the fact that they broke it up, and that seems to be the biggest change to all of this, is that they broke it up. So they're basically saying, instead of limiting players to 8 general archetypes based on takeovers, we've broken those 8 into 24 specific takeover abilities in a way you can think of them as unique badges, and you can fire off when you get hot. So they basically broke these things up into a bunch of different scenarios. They have advanced gathers, unlock more efficient spin, euro, hop, step, cradle gathers, finishing moves, able to absorb contact and finish at the rim, easy blow-bys, enhances ability for slashers to beat defenders off of the dribble, pull-up precision, boosts well-timed / aim shots off of the dribble, ankle breaking shots, more ankle breakers off spins and step back jumpers, negative impact, reduces defensive impact against pull-ups and other skill shots, limitless range, extends your shooting range out to the logos, spot up precision, boosts well-timed / aimed stationary jump shots, team rating boost, playmakers boost their team's offensive ratings, team takeover boost your teammates takeover meter progress, team badge boost your teammates badge up a tier, extreme clamps, more stonewall and lost dribble body up resolutions for locks. So these are the things that they broke ahead and broke the badges down into, and what it looks like is that a lot of these things are going to have the same takeover icon. So unless you look into it, you're not going to know what your player is going to have. Like, you remember last year with the shot creator takeover, like if it's anything that has to do with shot creating, it's going to have that same exact takeover icon. So you're not going to know if it's going to be pull up precision. You're not going to know if it's going to be ankle breaking shots. You're not going to know that because it's going to have the same badge. So let's get into the next one, which is next gen AI. So now we're getting into the meat and potatoes. So basically, they tout about this every year about how they improve the AI. In some years they do, and some years it takes a regression. But I am really interested to see how this plays out in practice, and of course I'll have it up on the screen and I'm going to read it now. So next gen AI, you know what I mean? Next gen was an opportunity to reset a lot of the areas of gameplay. This was especially true when it came to the artificial intelligence. Some of these items are immediately noticeable and some are more nuanced for the hardcore X's and O's hoop heads. But one thing's certain for NBA 2K21, continues to lead the way in accurately modeling its respective sport better than anyone else out there. Pay attention to that, man, because although we do want improvements here, and we criticize 2K a lot, they absolutely are leading the market in this. Now, that's not saying much because there isn't much of a market in the basketball space. You have this in NBA Live, but even in their heyday, even when it was like 5 or 6 basketball games out, they have always led the market in this. So that's something we pride ourselves in and know that the true students of the game appreciate about the franchise. So defense, new switching logic update, both on ball and off ball screen logic has been rewritten, and the auto switching logic was refined to reduce bad switching instances. So this has been a problem in the series for a while, man. Ever since the move to the 8th gen, which is the PS4 and the Xbox One, they've had like a pretty ridiculous problem with this, and it really bogs down the defense in the game because help defense is based in switching. So now you have the situation where they have the on-ball defense realistic to where, it's much easier to get past defenders because that's how it is in real life, except for like a few elite level defensive players that are good at keeping people on their hip and good at affecting shots. You can't have that now because since you don't have the switching right, which is rooted in help defense, you can't actually have a realistic you can't have realistic drives to the basket because now the paint is usually wide open, and that's how you ended up getting 50, 60, 70 points in the paint, because people aren't switching correctly. And another reason for that is because of the locomotion system in the game. Ever since they switched to this system in NBA 2K18, guys are lumbering around, the foot planting isn't right, the momentum is sluggish in places where it should be snappy, and it's snappy in places where it should be sluggish. So that's pretty much the reason why this is so important to me, is if you can get switching right, and on top of the foot planting system that they're talking about, we can have some decent help defense, so we can get those points in the paint down, and you can force more jump shots, and maybe the AI will be able to shoot an accurate amount of threes, because as it is, guys are shooting barely 20 and guys are jacking up near 33s a game, and I would like to see that improved a lot. So this is very interesting to me. So yeah, continuing on with the read through. So expect to see fewer cases of the AI calling for a switch without a screen and leaving a player wide open. So adaptive coaching engine ACE now has the ability to recognize and adapt to different types of off-ball actions, including flare screens, down screens, back screens, and handoffs. Improved the logic for the CPU defenders to get in position to take charges. I'm surprised that they brought charges back, because that shit hasn't been in the game for like 4 or 5 years. Several improvements to transition defense, overhauled the hedge defensive system for better screen positioning and angle targeting. The players can now call for help defense by holding L1 and LB. Now, this right here, I didn't think about this. I never mentioned this because I didn't think about this, but this could actually be something worthy of an addition, because now if I can control who comes over on help defense, I can make the right decisions on my own. But what this also tells me is that maybe the AI isn't up to snuff. Is they're touting it in these blogs that they had been doing for the past couple weeks, because now they're leaving it to the user to basically manually be able to bring the right help defender. So I don't know, like we'll have to see that when it comes here. Continuing on, instead of just calling for a double team, this is a great mechanic that you can use when guarding the ball. Instead of hoping the AI selects the right time to send help, it's now under your control with a simple press and hold of a button. Okay, improve logic for defenders and avoiding each other when moving around obstacles. There we go. Locomotion system, that goes into locomotion system, and I hope that the improvement to the AI will do this justice, because this is a lot of the stuff we've been talking about for years and years. Me, Gideon, and a lot of us in the sim community, this is the stuff that we actually care about. This works hand in hand with off-ball movement changes I detailed in last week's blog. So yeah, moving along to the offensive portion. So next gen game planning, this is a great new feature that allows players and AI to have more specific game plans for their teams. In the past, you could choose to run a pick and roll with LeBron, but the new system allows the AI to target a team's best player. So for the Lakers, not only will they run pick and rolls, but you can have them run exclusively with LeBron and Anthony Davis. Now that's interesting right there. More control is what we need in these games, simply because look, we can't rely on AI, man. We can't rely on AI to do shit right in these 2K games, and honestly, I don't trust the next gen either. So I'm actually kind of on board with them giving us more control for stuff like this. There's a new game plan options in the pause menu. Here's players you can select between 8 pre-selected game plans that they can access in game through the on-the-fly coaching panel. Each game plan has default options already set up for them, so the player can pick a single option and have all the important details for that game plan ready to go. Here are 2 examples of the game plans you can choose. So you can play through a star. We've always been able to do that. This plan will have Ace automatically select the best scorer of your team and only run scoring actions for them, both via plays and freelance actions. It also sets the tempo and rebounding choices automatically to accommodate for your star's playing style. Pound the ball. Ace auto selects the best post player on the team and will exclusively run post scoring actions and post plays for them. And I really do like that. Maybe that'll get guys like Joel Embiid and guys like Joker off in the post a lot more, because that's been another problem with the AI in NBA 2K, is that they don't go to their big mans enough. In order for them to do that, you have to completely go through and rework the roster tendencies, because some of the tendencies that they have set as they'll have Joel Embiid's post up set to 0, which makes absolutely no goddamn sense considering how much he actually posts up in real life. And it's little things like that that really makes you start to think, like, is this really a game that's trying to be simulation? But continuing reading, did double team counterintelligence. You'll see the AI using less movement and create more spacing for shooters spotting up behind the 3-point line to punish excessive double teaming. In the game, logic improved the AI's ability to time plays with the shot clock for the buzzer beater situations. That sounds pretty interesting. Starters and bench favorite plays. This year we expanded the favorite plays to allow players to set up one group of plays for their starting unit and another plays. Oh, that's nice. That's nice right there. I do like that, man. Basically, where am I? Okay, move players, specific plays and player-specific ball screens back to the L1 and LB button. This is something many people were requesting so they could get quick access to icon pick and rolls again. Icon pick and roll control again. Favorite players are now mapped to the D-pad. Seems like they're going back with the the old controls that they had instead of the analog stick situation that they had before, which everybody pretty much complained about. But you know, play in Freelance Flow, we have done every year this as we've done every year. The play in Freelance Offense has been greatly improved moving to next gen. There are several actions that we just had a hard time getting to run smoothly in the past 2K games, but thanks to the logic upgrades and vastly improved motion system, everything flows extremely well in NBA 2K21 for the next gen. Fixed AI players accidentally positioning themselves out of bounds. Thank you, God, because they used to do that so much. New pick and roll spacing. New spacing code gives some of our pick and roll isolation sets an extra adjustment on the dribble penetration. It's much more solid now, but expect continued expansion on this module as the year goes along with our in-season play and AI updates. So, you know, basically how I feel about that is, I mean, a lot of this stuff has been saying year after year after year. We've been fed this year after year, and like I said, sometimes there's improvement, sometimes there isn't. But I'm always hopeful, you know, because what I really want to see is these games improve to the level that I personally think they should be at now. Next gen is not about the graphics. You know, the graphics look good enough already. Of course, they're improved here, and I see a lot of people dwelling on that. The graphics are just a small portion of what's going to keep us playing this title. And a lot of these improvements, if they can follow through on these, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good year. Because, you know, when NBA 2K14 came to the Xbox One and the PS4, those were stripped down titles. Like, we didn't have a My League or a season mode in there. All we had is My Gym. You know, so that was a very stripped down version, and I'm so glad that they decided to bring all of the modes and more that they had over. That was a very, very smart decision by 2K, man, because they cannot afford to drop a game bare bones with, you know, and I'm so glad that they decided to go that route instead of basically stripping the game. So I'm excited, peeps, man. You know, and you know, call me crazy because we've been deceived so much. And so many of these games have come out and been much less to our expectations. And, you know, this year, for whatever reason, I'm excited, you know, and probably has a lot to do that we're jumping over the next gen now. And I am always the most excited about a generational leap. There is a lot of hardware. There's a lot of power in these new systems. These consoles that are about to come out. These are probably the most powerful consoles that we've ever gotten by far. When the PS4 and the Xbox One came out, those consoles are outdated spec wise and hardware wise before they even came out. When they dropped outdated. So it wasn't a surprise that PC was able to catch up with that pretty quickly. Like within, I mean, PC was already caught up with those systems when they came out. Now you have some pretty, for the price that they're selling these for, it'll be hard to get a $500 PC that's gonna run like the PlayStation and Xbox One. But I don't want to keep y'all too long, man. I just want to give y'all the weekly news mashup, man, for this week or whatever, because a lot of stuff came out, and I'll be keeping it going forward, man, as they drop news, and I'll keep dropping videos. But anyway, peace out, peeps, man. This has been your boy King. Later.